in the last 91 Premier League games. So
For the first time in Pep Guardiola's career, he has lost 4 consecutive games. This is unprecedented. It's been like 7 or 8 years since Man City lost even 3 consecutive matches. So it's very clear. Rodri is the Ballon d'Or, and Man City will not win the Premier League without Rodri and his fine contributions in the midfield with the ball or as a defensive holding midfielder. And this Premier League is the most craziest Premier League to date because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of great teams at the top of the table. Brighton is really great. Aston Villa is always a tough team to play. Newcastle with the European spot, very tough club to play. So you see drop points every week at the top of the table. It's just the league is tougher. Man City are just more vulnerable than in past years. And again, most of the points they dropped, Arsenal had to do with the red card situation. And again, without both of their top center backs, uh, who was it? Saliba was not able to play due to suspension, and Gabriel got hurt. So it was only until after there was no Saliba and there was no Gabriel against Liverpool, and then Arsenal conceded late, and they had a game winner, but the referee blew the whistle on a foul, leading to the buildup of what would have been the 3-2 victory. So Arsenal are going to come back and win the league again. It's just the same thing as last year for Liverpool. They're going to get injuries and they're going to start to drop points. Remember, they lost 2 straight matches during the month of April. They lost to Crystal Palace and Manchester United. They still have to play Man City. Arsenal are going to close the gap. The Premier League will be decided at Anfield in the month of May. Arsenal to win at Anfield to win the English Premier League title. Now, the Liverpool fans, this is what God Save the Queen is about. Crystal Palace. The Palace ended their title hopes last year. The Palace, Crystal Palace. Crystal, the crown jewels. This year, it's the Queen's favorite club that is going to win the Premier League at Anfield. Arsenal will be in full control. In the middle of the month of May, Arsenal travel to Anfield against Liverpool, the match that will decide the Premier League. Arsenal will end Man City on February the 1st. It is over. It is the end of an era. This is not the same club. The players, the writing is in the wall with the court case. Pep, you've peaked, Pep Guardiola. You may need to go on a different adventure because it's certainly not going to be the same. Do you want to be stagnant like Arsene Wenger? You have to leave Man City and reset and take on a different project. Liverpool and Aston Villa, they are not playing at Villa Park. Aston Villa have to try to get a result away at Anfield. I don't know. Are they really going to be 7 points back? I thought the club that was going to drop points this week was Liverpool. I still think it's possible they can drop points because, again, in any other circumstance, Arsenal defeat Liverpool. If they had their center backs, if the goal wasn't taken out, the 90th minute goal, I think it could be a strong point for Aston Villa. Arsenal could find themselves 5 points back after this week with another win away from home at Chelsea. Look at all the venues where Arsenal have played away from home. The Etihad, St. James Park against Newcastle. After this week, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Villa Park, Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Tottenham. The captain Odegaard is back at the right time. When they're going to be within 5 points, controlling their own destiny, the 5 points is nothing because You beat Liverpool, you're technically down 2 points, assuming you defeat Liverpool. And they still have to play Man City. The first time they play is the first week of December. Who knows if that match ends in a draw? Who knows? Lots of the draws benefited Man City last year. It looks like Brighton are going to hold on. Now there's a scuffle. You know Arsenal and Man City are going to be neck and neck with each other in February. You know, without the red card, Arsenal are going to smash Man City. Will it be 3-1? Will it be 4-1? I think Arsenal will smash them because it's at the Emirates, and Arsenal were about to cruise the victory away at the Etihad. This is why Rodri's the Ballon d'Or. He's going to prove exactly why he's the Ballon d'Or based on his absence alone is going to cost Man City the title. In this match, Kevin De Bruyne was playing in this match. Clearly something is off with this team. Clearly something is off. Is it something off the pitch that's distracting them? I'm not ready to say so, but clearly it is a different team than in previous years. In a matter of minutes, Brighton steal the match with 2 goals. 4 straight losses for Pep Guardiola and Man City. They lost at Sporting Lisbon. Brighton did get their 19th points against Pep Guardiola. It's Pep, that's Camacho 19. After the performance against Sporting, this was just no guarantee that Man City are going to win today. So now, before the kickoff at 1 o'clock, the table, Man City are 2 points behind in the table. If Liverpool draw, then with a victory, Arsenal would be 5 points back. If Liverpool lose and Arsenal win, then they're 4 points back on Liverpool. Nottingham Forest is another team that has only lost 1 match in 10 matches. Fulham, positive goal differential. Brighton, positive goal differential. Bournemouth defeated Arsenal and Man City. This Premier League is much more difficult than in previous years. There will just be points dropped on any given week because the competition is much more tougher. There's more parity down towards the bottom of the top half of the table. Odegaard to make the difference. And Liverpool, they were starting out quick last year, so they will most likely sustain injuries and they drip in form when the time comes. Liverpool, Man City, December 1st, then the Wednesday, Newcastle and Liverpool at St. James Park. That first week of December is a test for Liverpool with or without a win against Aston Villa. So Liverpool and Arsenal played on May the 10th in match week 36. Arsenal have to do the business at Anfield. This will decide the Premier League. But it doesn't get any easier because Arsenal play Newcastle, then Southampton the end of the year. They would have to first and foremost not bottle the Premier League against Newcastle. So even if Arsenal do win at Anfield, Newcastle's never easy, but they do get Newcastle at the Emirates. With a win against Chelsea, Arsenal have to play Nottingham Forest, but they get them at the Emirates Stadium. Then West Ham, Man United, and Fulham. And then a little bit easier towards mid-December, they get Everton, Crystal Palace, and Ipswich Town, and Brentford on New Year's Day.
You have the vision. We have the insights.
4 straight losses for Man City. It's clearly the end of an era. This is not the same team. And psychologically, how do you handle losing? A tough drip in form for Arsenal. A tough drip in form for Man City. When will Liverpool experience a minor drip in form? This table is going to even out in a matter of no time, within 30 to 40 days.
All free on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
So we'll see how Villa responds since they got thrashed 4-1 by Tottenham. I think it just gets interesting. If Liverpool win, the margin is still 7 points. If Arsenal are at 21 and Liverpool are at 28, there is something in there for an Aston Villa win potentially against Liverpool. But we'll see what happens with that one. We will know if it gets very, very real, depending on what happens with Liverpool against Aston Villa. If Aston Villa get a result, then suddenly Arsenal get a little lifeline with their captain back. You can't script it any better. If you have a double result this week, Liverpool had a double beneficial result last week with Man City losing against Bournemouth and Arsenal losing at Newcastle. So I wonder if the reverse will happen just with Arsenal on the beneficiary side. This is the kind of crazy Premier League I'm talking about.